It's just about getting those first few people to see you and give you a chance. Always invite people to see what you can do, man. You gotta show your talent, and it's always like, build your resume, do this, and you're like, how? He is my biggest cheerleader, and I think if you need an agent, you need someone like that. And then it's like a building blocks, just like any career, right? You just want to move your way up. So I feel like I'm at the infancy of my professional career where I'm getting the opportunity for the world to see me, which is great. Being able to tap into that, you don't get a lot of opportunities to go very deep, and I'd love to keep tapping that well until, you know, something amazing happens. Well, it's been hard, you know. I'm not your typical person to be in acting. I mean, growing up, I was always told it would never be a thing for me. I've been thrown a lot of doubt, especially in my younger years and like schooling years. Like nobody believed in me. I want to be seen more for who I am as like myself, and what aspects of my personality could be used to tell a story of another character. Someone else's opinion is not going to make me quit on my dreams, you know? I try to tell myself, if I'm here, I deserve to be here. I got cast too, baby. If I didn't deserve this, out of the hundreds of people who auditioned for this, I wouldn't be here. I'm happy that I kind of adopted that, but it would have saved younger me so much trauma and turmoil if I just...
Hello and welcome to my podcast, Creative Full Time, where I interview actors and people in the entertainment industry about how they're doing the damn thing here in Canada. Now, before we get into the interview, I would love it if you subscribe to my channel on YouTube and Spotify. It would help us out so much. People look at how many followers you have when you're looking for things like branding or extra special guests. So if you could subscribe, I would super appreciate it. So you have done so much. I really love your career and love watching it. I'm a fan. But you went to Humber and Second City and CFC, and I'm missing one.
And I graduated from Guelph back in the day.
Nice.
Yes.
So
lots of school. Oh my God.
I know.
No wonder.
I'm impressed.
My OSAP. Oh God. My OSAP.
Preach. But yeah, what is something that you took away from doing so much schooling? No, let's start. Do Ryerson and Guelph, and then we'll get to Second City.
Oh, you mean Humber and Guelph?
Or Humber and Guelph, yeah, sorry.
Well, Guelph was interesting because it was more of an academic program. So what I did there was I learned a lot about the history of theater and performance and international performance. And it kind of gave me a base of knowledge for the things I was like completely passionate about. Whereas in Humber, that now I get to flip side and do a lot of trying things out on my own. So we were on camera all day, every day, doing little scenes and working with partners and working with the teachers, and the teachers would go around and rotate. So you got a little piece of knowledge from everybody. And so that I found was really valuable. When I first got my gig, I was like totally comfortable in front of a camera. I understood some of the lingo, and it kind of, it built the foundation to get into this career, and then you just kind of, you know, struggle bus your way through it.
Wobble your way through it.
You know, fall down a couple times and you figure it out. But yeah, no, I'm happy I did all that because I wanted to be, like, I'm super passionate about it. So at the end of the day, it's fun, it's exciting. Happy to not have to write like a 10-page essay anymore. I don't even know how I did that, but I did, about like kabuki theater and stuff like that.
That's amazing.
You know?
Good for you. Because I was like, lectures? No.
What? I could not go to a lecture today. Oh my, I can't even watch a movie full 2 hours without falling asleep, so I don't know how I would have done that. But I got through it, you know, that young energy. And that young energy, you just keep going. You're up for like 4 days, and all of a sudden you're writing an exam. But then, so that's kind of what I found more. I got like the foundation of knowledge versus the foundation of application, which I thought was pretty cool.
Nice. And then Second City Conservatory, was that like their weekend program, or you did like level A, B, C, D?
Oh yeah, I did all the levels.
Nice.
And then I did the conservatory, which was once a week for a year, and then with your castmates, you actually write a main stage show. So we all submitted our own sketches, our own monologues, or jokes and stuff, and collectively we came together and pieced it together for like a 2-hour show. And then we got the main stage for a couple of evenings and got to have full audience there and produced basically our own work in sketch comedy, which was derived from improv, which was like a great learning experience too, because I just flew with that for the last I don't know, decade, I would just, use that knowledge to go into comedy bar or, I guess Second City too. I guess that's another place I would show up and get on stage and just, joke around with people.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're really comfortable on stage too, doing that. Like, did that come naturally, or was that through Second City? Because you're just like, yeah, and then we did a show.
And then we did a show. It was great. It's funny, like, I love improv. I probably, improv is probably one of my most strongest talents, things that I do. But I can't remember anything. You put me on stage and I do stand-up or improv or anything, it's like I black out. Someone's like, you did a really good job. And I'm like, I have no idea what happened up there. But as long as it came off as good, I mean, that's winning. But I'm just so in the moment, I guess, that I have no idea what's going on around me for the most part. So blessed. Absent-mindedness really is working in my favor here.
Asset.
Perfect. The yes and attitude, I got that. I think that's really all I need. And then whatever happens, happens.
Basically, yeah.
Make people laugh. Okay, good. We're doing good.
Right, that's so true.
We're on the right roll to the right direction.
Exactly. And then CFC program. Now I heard that, or I was told actually, I don't know if this is true or not, but I was told that I applied for CFC one year and I was with this agent and she told me, she was like, don't hold your breath because the CFC only takes like people where things are happening for them already or they're really leaning into the BIPOC. And I was like, holy shit, okay, thanks.
She ain't wrong. She ain't wrong. I got blessed with CFC. It was an interesting experience for sure. It was definitely like very time consuming, but what the best thing is if you're kind of on the up and up, they kind of push that swing a little bit harder and get you into the rooms that you want to get into to keep your career going.
So what did you have going on that was the little
push
swing?
Me in there?
Yeah.
So I had just done a movie called Don't Talk to Irene.
Yes.
And Pat Mills, he's also an alum of CFC, but he was the writer-director for that.
Oh, nice.
And then I was just cast in another film called Honeybee that had a lot of CFC alumni in there. And I think that connection really helped propel me forward because I had something to show them. I was a lead in a movie under my belt already. And yeah, all the knowledge that I gained from there just kind of helped push me more further into the industry. So that's kind of what I found from there, is it was less learning about what I do and more learning how to navigate it in a more professional way.
Okay, and so is that what you were looking for and why you applied to CFC, is to get into those rooms?
Yeah, well, I didn't even realize that was the case. My draw to the CFC was that you were mixed with so many other people. Like they have the writers, they have the directors, they have the actors, they have musicians. And the way that we did our program in the years that I went was that we all collaboratively worked together, which was like dope for networking, which the idea of leaving there and creating my own thing was kind of my draw, which we kind of did. Like we get a showcase at the end of the year and you get to come up with a character, you get to hire your director, other actors, writer, all that jazz. And so it was the first time I was able to take an idea from my head and like see it come to fruition. And the CFC supported that. So that to me is the most valuable part, is as an actor, is like you don't necessarily have to take someone else's work to bring it to life. You have a hand in creating something that showcases like a piece of you that you might not get to show anywhere else.
Fair. Okay, nice. Wicked. And backtracking to Humber, because I know you can graduate with a credit, right? An actor credit?
Oh, yeah.
Did you do that?
So when I was in Humber, I actually got my first commercial with Skittles, and I played 5 different people. So I got into ACTRA right away.
And so that counted as like each different credit?
5 different roles, 5 different credits.
Oh,
I know.
my God.
I'm a lucky girl. I know. It was very cool. So I didn't need it. Yes, but it does count as your 1 ACTRA credit.
Okay.
Towards your, I think you need 3 to pass apprenticeship to go into the union. So I had 5 within like my first few months of Humber. And so I didn't even do any non-union work. I went straight into the union.
That's nuts.
Yeah. A 24-hour shoot was my first professional gig. Was a Skittles commercial. It was 24 hours long. We were in the studio. It was insane.
That's
so fun.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Were you worried about having not enough non-union work or like a demo reel to be in the union, or you were like, woohoo, union, let's go?
I jumped right in, and I used a lot of the material that I gained from Humber being on camera all the time to help with my demo reel. But honestly, because I was doing all this simultaneously with like Second City at the same time, I was going to school and doing that at the same time. I actually used a lot of my theater work to get me my foot in the door with comedy. And I invited a lot of people from the industry to my shows for the longest time so that they could actually see me. And that's how I got people to believe in what I do and then help encourage me and support me going through the audition processes.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good business move. I like that.
Yeah, always invite people to see what you can do, man. You gotta show your talent, and it's always like, build your resume, do this. And you're like, how?
Right.
How do I do that? How do I, but no one's hiring me. No one wants to give me a chance. And it's just about getting those first few people to see you and give you a chance.
Very true. I mean, what were some of the people who, like the first people who started giving you a chance that you can remember was a woohoo win?
So I always fondly reflect back on this, but when I started in theater when I was like 11, I had like terrible stage fright.
Really?
Yeah, terrible. Like I would
God.
shake and like want to pee my pants. Terrible. But I also knew I was like, I want to do that. I can do this. And the very first time I auditioned for something, I didn't know what an audition was. So I went into the room, and it was for a musical. And they're like, oh, you have to sing a song. And I was like, what? I just thought we had to just come introduce ourselves. Like I had lines,
way.
I had to do a song, so I had no idea. So I sang Happy Birthday, and because I was so nervous, it probably was like all over the place. I'm not a singer, and then I didn't get into that play. And then I found out what the next year's play was going to be, like at our main theater in Peterborough, where I'm from. It's called a Showplace. It's like the biggest theater in town. And it was Music Man. And so I got my dad to go buy me, I didn't have a CD player, I had a record player. So he bought me the record. Nice. And I watched the movie, and I watched it, I don't know, hundreds of times, memorized everything. And then the next year I went in, and I got in there, and I sang my song. I did my audition, and the first person who cast me was this girl in our church called Shirley Roloffs. And I still see her when I go back home, and I'm like, you gave me my start, Shirley. You gave me my start. So I find that story like very fond memories of my community theater times. And then honestly here, I've had a lot of people that support me, but the biggest support is probably Pat Mills, the director of Don't Talk to Irene. He took a huge... I don't want to say risk because, like, I work pretty hard.
I want to say risk because I'm pretty freaking talented.
I understood the assignment, I feel. But, like, you know, I was a new person. He made me the lead of his movie. And the amount of experience I got just, like, being with him. Like, we're going to hang out tomorrow night. I'm still very close with Pat. And I call him for everything. And he's been such a light in my life when it came to this journey. And then my agent, Adam Stutt, he is my biggest cheerleader, and I think if you need an agent, you need someone like that. And I always call him like the dream team because he truly is. Like he's communicative, he talks to me, and he also like pumps me up for things that we aren't doing professionally, you know? Nice. And it's nice to feel like I'm backed by like a good crew. So I would say those three people have been the most influential so far in my career.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Have you always been with this agent, or have you been with other agents as well?
I've gone through an agent journey. I started off with this girl that I graduated Guelph with. I went into acting. She became an agent, so I called her up one day and was like, hey, you need someone on your roster? And she was like, actually, yes. So she got me my start with the commercials.
Nice.
And then I floated, once she left, she went off to do other things. I floated around for a little bit, and Adam saw me at Second City. And he approached me, and I was just cast in Don't Talk to Irene, and it was coming out at TIFF. And his words of support were just so great. I invited him to see the movie, so he came out to check it out. Nice. And then we got to know each other a little bit better, and it took almost a year before I jumped ship and went to him, but never looked back.
Nice.
Never looked back. Yeah, he's
I like
He's
that
great.
it took time.
Yeah, because I did have a good agent at the time, but I knew in my career I wanted to go further, and I needed somebody who isn't afraid of the business aspect of this all, like who might be able to be a little more articulate and a hard hitter in that sense, where I can still be like, you know, I don't have to get involved in that. I can still be my bubbly self without having, but still wanting the same integrity.
Yeah.
So he has that in his personality, and that's another reason why I love him so much. So as a business partner, him and I work really well together, but yeah, it took about a year to kind of figure that out, and then I was like, yeah, let's do it, and haven't looked back.
Amazing. I love how you put it as business partner too.
Yeah, he's my business partner.
Yeah,
we work together.
It is so much a team thing instead of you work for me or I work for you, you know? So I like that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're like at a made it point of you're comfortable in your career and you're like, yeah, I've made it, I'm doing the thing? Or do you still feel like you're wanting more?
Yeah, I'm definitely proud of what I've done. I wouldn't say I've made it. I don't know what that means. I mean, I made it in the sense that I'm doing what I love to do, and I definitely reflect back on that with positive vibes and understand how lucky I am for that. But I do have a lot of goals, and I do have a lot of experiences I want to try out. Like, I just feel like my skills have developed more and more every time I get a different gig. So I can reflect back and be like, oh, I can use the wisdom that I gained here to push here. And then it's like a building blocks, just like any career, right? You just want to move your way up. So I feel like I'm at the infancy of my professional career, where I'm getting the opportunity for the world to see me, which is great. But I would love more opportunities to just do what I love, and also like show more of what I can do. Like, I love the emotional aspect of film and television and all that jazz. And being able to tap into that, you don't get a lot of opportunities to go very deep. And I'd love to keep tapping that well until, you know, something amazing happens. So it's all part of the process. So I wouldn't say I've made it, but I definitely am on my way to a trajectory that I'm very proud of.
Nice, wicked. I like that.
Yeah.
And what are some of the things that you've had to overcome, either like internally or externally, to get to where you are now? Because I think a lot of people would look at your career and be like, damn, like
that's nice. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
It's been hard, you know. I'm not your typical person to be in acting. I mean, growing up, I was always told it would never be a thing for me. So to be actually in the world and doing it professionally is another aspect of what I'm proud of. Like, you know, I have always been bigger. We used to be bigger than this. Nerdy girl, I'm not like your femme fatale. And I've even had people in my acting school always tell me like I'm never going to be able to play that kind of part. And it would make me so upset, because it doesn't, like, being stuck in a stereotype is just not what I want to be known for.
Right.
So it's very important to me, like when I was talking about the emotional aspect of it all, to prove my worth in that sense, because I'm more than the eye can see, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. So luckily the stuff that I have done has given me that opportunity, but like to always be cast as like the nerd or the bigger girl or like the sidekick, which we love them. We love them. Please cast me as this. Exactly. But just not forever. You know? I love having the opportunity to play these things, but I want to be seen more for who I am as like myself, and what aspects of my personality could be used to tell a story of another character. So I've kind of found myself pigeonholed in that place in the sense that I've been thrown a lot of doubt, especially in my younger years and like schooling years. Like nobody believed in me at all. It was a struggle bus, but I just keep going, and I think that's one of my best qualities is my integrity and drive. I know what I want. I know what I want to do. Someone else's opinion is not going to make me quit on my dreams, you know?
Oh, I love that. Yes. Good.
Yes, queen.
I know, right?
Yes.
Do you have a dream role or a dream genre if it can't be a dream role?
Well, because I'm so, and like my personality is pretty bubbly, and so that usually translates a lot. I mean, How to Die Alone is really great because I get to play the antagonist, so I get to play a little bit sassy, which is so fun. But I'd love to like get into the nitty gritty kind of like like a psychological thriller type of thing. Like
Ooh.
my close-up from CFC was kind of a Fargo-esque type of vibe, and I had a lot of fun with that, and I chose that because it's so far from like what people would see me as at first glance, how I sound, all this stuff, but it's like being able to act out like the psyche of someone would be such a cool experience, because I've seen so many cool actors have the opportunity to do something like that, and I just think that would show my depth. So and I know like casting firsthand that's not something I would be put up for kind of naturally. It's stuff we look for, and again, bless my agent, he doesn't pigeonhole me in that kind of sense, but that doesn't mean that doesn't happen in the whole grand scheme of things.
Right.
So to have an opportunity to play something with that kind of depth would be like a really juicy thing for me.
Yeah.
Like Women Talking was also like, it was very close to that, being able to portray my experience with like mental health and my POV on that whole situation. That felt very cathartic. Actually, I would say everything I've done so far has felt very cathartic in some sense. Like Irene was, being bullied and being a bigger girl and going through that and following your dreams. Well, I relate to that in a different sense. And then Women Talking, as a female and having that whole history and then putting myself in that character's position, but also relating it to my version and my experience of anxiety and panic attacks. That was super cathartic. And now, in How to Die Alone, it's bringing out all of my funness, the stuff that I do, I feel like the best, but I get to be sassy. And honestly, sassy is one of my core qualities. So I just don't get to show it as much. So everything so far has kind of lined up really well. And again, it's just about pushing it forward to just see what else is out there that I have the opportunity to do.
Amazing. I love that. You've worked with some pretty big names and heavy hitters in the industry.
I have. It's so weird.
It's amazing. And Dave Bautista and Women Talking, stacked cast in Women Talking, and My Spy was Dave Bautista, and then with How to Die Alone as well now. Do you ever get really nervous to work with these big names, or are you confident in what you got and you just can go on and do the job?
It's really cool meeting these people, but at the same time, hey, I got cast in the same movie as you did, so we're on the same level, baby. And honestly, the people that I've met, it's not so intimidating. It's surreal. Like, it's funny, I would like look back and be like, oh, you worked with Claire Foy. I'm like, oh yeah, Claire. Oh yeah. Like Claire is a different person to me than what I guess I understand the celebrity.
Like other people's outside view.
Yeah, the outside view of it. But it's never really intimidated me. I feel like I try to tell myself, if I'm here, I deserve to be here. And, nervousness is not going to help this situation at all. This is what I want to do. And I shouldn't be intimidated by other people who have found success in the same industry, because that's where I'm headed. And
more snaps.
Yeah, more snaps. So it is surreal. Like, you mentioned heavy hitters, and I reflect back and I go, yeah, I guess that's right. But in the moment, I don't see it that way.
It's just a colleague that you're working with.
It's a colleague that, I learn a lot from, not gonna lie. Watching those women and Women Talking do their bit, there was a couple times someone have to slap me in the arm because I'm like, whoa. Like, just in awe. And again, it's all about the learning process. Now I can see how far you can push something, how emotional you can go, and it's okay. The vulnerability aspect, like you have to be very vulnerable, and I think we all have a meter of what we naturally feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
So like trying to extend my meter and be able to open that's also part of the challenge that I want to kind of use in my journey. That's like what I meant by like growth into this industry.
Yeah.
So I always see it as an opportunity. Like, these are my teachers. These are people that I can learn from. But also, I got cast too, baby.
Yes.
I'm in the movie too.
I love that. That's such a great way to put it. And I love the meter of vulnerability. You're so right. Like,
yeah,
it's what you're willing to do, and then there's always more, and you like trying to break through the depths that you're willing to go.
Exactly. Your comfortability level, like, and I'm watching some of those women do their thing who have had these opportunities for a lifetime. It was inspiring, yeah. Watching them do their thing and being like, I can go there and it's okay. Yeah. That's the other thing, it's okay. Because you don't know. Everyone thinks like you have to walk on eggshells in the film industry because you don't know what's okay and, you know, what are people gonna like, and you just kind of get out of that and just do your thing because it takes a whole team and they'll make sure the project is good. Yeah, it's not on your shoulders. Yeah, as an actor, true. You're just there helping, but it's not on your shoulders.
Yes, that's a good way of putting it too, because it is a lot of pressure sometimes. And it's like you're a piece of the puzzle. That's one thing actors need to remember. You're a piece of the puzzle. You're kind of a vessel for the director and the writer, and you do your work. But at the end of the day, like, you don't have a say in anything because it's not your job, and it's all a part of this whole group that's building something. And if you do your best, your addition to this project will make it 10 times better. I like that. I love the confidence that you have too, because it is. I feel like a lot of people would get intimidated and shy away, but you're so confident in your skills and your abilities. And
I'm more confident in my personality than I am in my skills. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm always nervous. I have the same butterflies as everybody else, but it's just how you speak to yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
In the moment, right?
Yeah.
And I know I want to do a good job, and I also want to do the best I can do, and no negative talk is going to help me get there. So that's why I've reshaped my thinking to be like, I deserve this. If I didn't deserve this, out of the hundreds of people who auditioned for this, I wouldn't be here. So it's like you take your moments when you get them and just kind of power on, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And now tell us about How to Die Alone.
How to Die Alone.
Tell us everything.
How to Die Alone. It's a new comedy. It's on Disney+. It comes from the mind of Natasha Rothwell, and if you don't know her, you should, because she's the epitome of inspiration. Like, she did her hustle. She's hustled her whole life. She has a dream too. She's an amazing writer. She's an amazing actor and comedian. And she did the same thing. Like, I totally relate to her story. Coming up, you know, hitting the comedy scene for X amount of years, writing. She wrote on SNL. She was a writer there. That's a hard room to be in. Yeah. And so she knows the ins and outs of the industry. And then she took her knowledge and she made this. It took almost 8 years for her to create How to Die Alone.
Oh, really?
And it's so precious to her. But my favorite thing about it is that she has her vulnerabilities in it to the point where that's what makes it funny, because it's so relatable. All the silly shit that happens to us in life. Silly and shitty. Let's say that. I think that's where the humor comes from in this particular show. It's called How to Die Alone.
Yeah.
But she just kind of leans into her own experiences and creates this world and this story that, and it's really inspiring. She's blowing up now and she deserves every part of it. But this particular story, it follows the character Mel in her 30s, and it literally goes through everything that I know I'm going through, anybody else who's in their 30s is going through, you know, their love life, trying to find their place in the world. Did they make the right career choice? Can they buy a house? Do they have stability? You know, who are they as an adult person, you know? And this is what this show kind of explores. It explores all of her relationships, her best friends, her work relationships, her romantic relationships, and it's how she finds herself and kind of I wouldn't say gains her groundedness in her life, but we all need to regain it every so often. You know, we always lose a little bit of grasp, and then we have to come back and kind of reassert ourselves to be like, no, this is who I am, and this is where I'm going. So that's the journey we follow. For me, I play the antagonist, so it's set in an airport, JFK to be specific, and so my character's named Patty Burger, which I love. Patty with an I, Burger. I love that so much. I have a pet lizard named Liz Taylor in the show. Yes. I love it. And basically, my character, like, her life is this job. Like, she comes to work every day, she follows the rules, she does everything right, so she thinks she deserves everything. You know, she's one of those hard workers that just kind of has honed in on, if I follow the rules, I deserve like the reward. And it's kind of the bash against that mindset versus Mel's, which is a little more all over the place. And so I poke buttons, I push buttons with that kind of mindset. It's kind of like honestly, it's kind of like a Dwight Schrute.
I was going to say Dina from Superstore.
Or Dina from Superstore, exactly. Also a Torontonian.
Yes, I know. Yeah, also Second City alum.
Also Second City alum, you know. But it's exactly kind of like that. But it's like it's like that short, quick-witted, you know, Karen on the sidelines who there's always one who always tries to take you down a peg when you're on your way up. But it's done in such a silly way. Like, Patty Berger has her quirks. You know, she's always bringing something stinky for lunch. She goes over the top when it comes to COVID. You know, she takes her work very seriously, but it was really fun to play. It was just to be, as I said, a little sassy. And the show is so positive. It's so woke, too. So woke, so positive, so of these times, that it's kind of nice to have an interjection of this kind of hostility, kind of trying to break the vibe every so often. And the way that Mel or Natasha reacts to this is just like, I get it. I got one of those. Everyone has one. A Patty Burger, you know.
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere. So I'm just channeling all of them patties in this world, you know.
I love it. It
was really fun. Really fun.
Yes. And people should be watching.
They should watch it. Please watch it. Watch it as much as you can because the ratings are coming in and we want to be number one. We're already up there, but
you're already really up there. But I didn't know that the ratings are counted by November, the end of November?
As far as I know, I'm not sure exactly the date. But I have heard tell, I've had some tea that from now until the end of November, if you watch it, that will be counted on the ratings, and that will determine where we stand. And a season 2, hopefully. Like, this cast is stacked in a way I've never experienced before. The comedians on this show are insane, and I just laugh the whole time. Like, you can see some of Natasha's behind the scenes stuff on her Instagram, but like, that is the truth. Like, we went to karaoke.
I saw that.
The time.
I was like, oh my God, so fun.
So fun, and it was everywhere. It was at the premiere, it was at our after party. I think Natasha does like some sort of like karaoke league in her real life where she goes and like does it all the time. Goals, honestly. And that was how we all met for the first time, is that we did a karaoke night.
That's
and
amazing.
Instantly friends.
We're gonna do a little break the ice. Every workplace do that. We're going to karaoke to break the ice and become friends, everybody.
Oh, so good. And just sitting like in the green room in between takes and listening to these people, just like their personalities, getting to know them, very funny. So like, kudos to these guys for picking such a great cast.
I love that. That's awesome. And watch now. Well, even if it's after November, you can still watch. But watch before so we get a season 2.
Yeah.
Get the bills paid.
We want a season 2. Yeah, Mama needs a job. Mama needs a job. I got 2 dogs at home, okay? I'm a single mom.
A single dog mom.
Proud dog mom.
That's right. 2 dogs?
I got 2, dogs? Oh, I have a big and a little, so I got
I
got a big and a little. Oh, that was a dream, and I got it. It's come true. So I have a big, like a medium-sized dog. He's like 60 pounds. He's like a farm dog, so a pure mutt, but the sweetest boy. His name's Scout. Scout Angus. I've named them after little Scotsmen because my last name's McLeod. So he's Scout Angus McLeod. And then I have a puppy. He's 9 months. I got him when he was 7 weeks. He's half Jack Russell, half Terrier, Yorkie Terrier. So he's like a little tiny shmoo, like 12 pounds. And his name is Louis Ramsey McLeod. Louis Ramsey. You have to say with more of an accent.
Yeah, you can't not say it with an accent.
Louis, don't eat that, Louis. So he's 9 months, and so he's, as I said, like 12 pounds, and the other one's like 60 pounds. So I walk around with a big and a little.
I love it.
adore.
I'm just trying to get
I
my
adore.
partner to agree to a second dog now. I'm
Oh my
really
God,
trying.
do it.
Yeah.
It's a hard sell. I'm not gonna lie. I just went for it.
But you walk and feed them at the same
the
time,
same-
right? It's like, it wouldn't be that bad.
It's not that bad. You do walk and feed them at the same time. It takes a hot second for the little one to get the routine, but then when he gets it, they get it, right? If you're consistent.
They need a friend.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. My older dog does not care for his little brother at all. He's like,
I don't even think mine would.
Kicks
I think
him
mine
over.
likes being an only child.
yeah.
But I definitely would love to ruin her dreams.
Yeah, it's entertaining. I gotta tell you that. It's endearing. Like when they snuggle, I'm like, oh my God. But then, like, I think one of the first days my dog Scout, literally the dog came too close and he just kicked it. He just kicked it away.
Not
He's just
today.
like, not today. And like they'll do this cute thing where I'll give them each like a bone. And then when Scout isn't looking, Lewis will take Scout's bone. But then Scout will realize that Lewis dropped his bone and he'll go over and take Lewis's. And they both think that they pulled the fast one, but really they just switched. They just switched. So I'm sitting there going,
That's
okay,
amazing.
whatever floats your boat, bud. Whatever floats your boat.
That's hilarious.
But they keep me on my toes, and yeah, I'm a proud dog mom.
I
for
love
sure.
it. Can you bring your dogs to set? Are you allowed? Have you done
do.
it? Yes?
Yes.
Oh, it's a dream.
I know, it's so exciting. I was so happy.
That's when you know you've made
I know, I couldn't
people.
believe it. Like in Women Talking, I brought Scout, and he would hang out in my trailer.
Oh my gosh,
And
yes.
the crew was so great. They would, he loves sticks. So they'd find him nice sticks around the property and then come to my trailer and like leave them outside the door for him.
That is
Here's
so
a fun
cute.
story. Joaquin Phoenix walked my dog.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Tell me everything.
Never met Joaquin Phoenix. I know.
He walked your
But
dog?
he walked my dog. So
That's
Rooney Mara was
hilarious.
in Women Talking, and obviously she's married to Joaquin Phoenix. And
Yeah.
so he would come visit sometimes because she had their son River. And we were on set one day, and our base camp was a little bit down the street. And so I had Scout, and he was in the trailer I was filming, and I get a text from one of the crew members saying Joaquin is with Scout right now, and I was like, how did this happen? What's going on? He goes, well, they have their dog Oscar, a little tiny shmoo, and he's like, I heard there was a dog here, can I take him for a walk? So they let him in my trailer, which is fine.
Yeah.
And he went.
I'd be like,
and
yeah, absolutely.
he let Joaquin in there, like, and then so he picked up Scout, and him, Oscar, and Scout went for a little walkerino,
Oh
and
my
then he put
gosh.
Scout back, and then brought the sticks inside my trailer, and I came back, and he was gone by the time I came back, and I was like, Scout, do you understand what just happened? You were walked by Joaquin Phoenix.
Right?
Scout, he
Like, we
probably
can never
picked
bathe
up
you
your
now.
poop. Joaquin Phoenix, the Joker, picked up my dog's poop. Now that's the most starstruck I've ever been. That's insane. I never met him, but Scout and him are very
Best
close.
friends now.
Very close.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, jazz. But yeah, so Scout comes.
I love it.
And Lewis, I got him specifically to be an airplane dog. So he fits under the seats. He's been on 3 airplanes so far. He's going on another one in January. So he's my travel boy. And so, it's really nice.
Amazing.
Everyone brings their dogs.
What do you do in between gigs to keep yourself busy or creative juices flowing or
Yeah.
to keep you sane?
Yeah, well, I have 2 dogs. They
They're
keep me
fair.
busy. So yeah, I do a lot of different stuff. So I've been dabbling in stand-up lately, just trying to get my footing. It's very hard. It's not like sketch at all, because you're up there on your own. And most of the time you resort back to embarrassing stories of yourself or vulnerabilities, and you're just like, why am I here? Why am I here for your entertainment? So I've been trying to get into that, because I don't know, I feel like there might be something there. And I'm in school again. I'm halfway through George Brown's screenwriting program.
Oh, yeah?
So soon to graduate with a screenwriting diploma, degree,
amazing.
certificate, whatever they give out.
You want to be screenwriting?
No, I don't want to.
No.
No, but I think it's a good
But you
skill
feel like
to
I have to.
I have a lot of ideas, but
Yeah.
I don't have the confidence to write them down in a way that tells a story kind of that connects. And I'd love to learn how to create a script that you could read from start to finish and not be confused. Honestly, I'm good at
Mine's
sketches.
just like arc.
Yeah,
And there's no
then
down.
I'm done.
There's no down. It's just,
I'm like,
finish.
here's all the issues. I don't know how to solve them.
Exactly.
Put that
How
in
do
a
you
drawer.
end something. I don't know.
And then it's gone for 10 years. So I'm really trying to do that. I'm about halfway through, and I'm developing I want to do like a limited series about 5-pin Canadian bowling, because it's only Canadian.
Oh, really?
I was Ontario's 5-pin bowling champ when I was 11.
Stop.
Yes.
No way.
And after returning last year to 5-pin bowling in the city with my mother on my team, we became number 1.
Stop.
So I don't know how that happened, because we came.
It's like riding a bike.
No, we actually only became number 1 because our handicaps were so bad that it elevated above the best team.
No
And yeah,
way.
it was a money league, and we won lots of money. And I was like, this is the best that's ever happened to me.
Amazing.
I have bowling balls with my name engraved in it, like so nerdy about it. Yeah, I'm real nerd about it.
I think you're the coolest person.
Oh God, it's embarrassing.
I love it. That's hilarious. I would have never guessed.
Yeah, they roll around my trunk.
Oh
Yeah, I got
my
them.
gosh.
So it inspired me, because I hadn't been back to bowling since I was young.
Right.
And being there with my mom, you see a whole bunch of characters. You see everyone has like some guy has to hold the ball and like they have their routines, and you're
Twinkle
looking
toes.
twinkle toes. I just whip it down there. Honestly, that's my tactic. I'm like, how freaking hard can I throw this ball? So I found that really interesting, and I'd love to create a series with using those types of characters that are super unique, and also my POV on being in that world, and also kind of tying it to like very similar to like how Natasha kind of mirrored her life and used the humor of her life to create a story. I find that inspiring to like use kind of my experiences, but bring them into that kind of, not workplace, but
Environment. Yeah.
So we're working on it. It's getting there.
That's so cool. I also like that you mentioned that it took her 8 years to make.
Yeah.
Because I find a lot of people just like, if it doesn't happen within like a year or whatever, they're like, guess it's not gonna happen.
In the drawer.
Exactly. And it's like, no, sometimes these things
8
take
years.
time.
It takes a lot of time, because it takes a village, honestly, to make a dream come true.
100%.
And you have to stay true to it, and that's one cool thing about Natasha, is she stuck to it, and she got the right people on her team, and now Disney produced it. Are you serious? Like, that is
so
the
cool.
ultimate coolest thing. And she hit number 1 with her show. Like, she's just living the dream right now. And she's on the next season of White Lotus. She got to present at the Emmys. She's just, everything's coming up Natasha, and that's what 8 years of hard work does for you.
That is so true.
Yeah.
That is so true.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Wicked. Amazing. And do you have representation in the States as well?
I do. I have a manager.
I was going to say manager or agent or both?
Yeah. My agent here does everything.
Amazing.
So, bless technology, he can do it all.
Yeah, right? It really has switched that way, because it used to be you have to have an agent here, an agent there, but now everything's online.
Everything's online. I haven't been in a real person audition in a long time. You don't need to go. Everything is on tape, or you just Zoom them. So
do you like on tape?
Yeah, I do better actually live.
Yeah.
I could do better live, but I don't get the opportunity. So, I mean, I will do a tape. I want a job, but I want a job.
I want a job.
But my agent does try to follow up to get as many interviews as possible, so I can talk to the people that are working, so I can kind of get their vibe, where they're coming from, so that my tape is more on point.
Nice.
So, I mean, it doesn't happen all the time, but when we have the opportunity to talk to someone like that, we totally go for it. But it makes the world smaller. It makes me feel like I can actually live in Toronto, which is where I want to be.
Yes.
I don't necessarily want to, I mean, I love the sun, but I don't want to live down south. Like, it's just not my vibe. But I have a manager in the States to help me out with all things America. And America. She's great. I have a great little team. Like, as I said, I'm really good friends with my agent. I've become really good friends with my manager. My new publicist actually was someone I met at Second City years ago, and now he's been working in LA for years.
Nice.
And we linked up because he helped me out during my premiere for How to Die Alone. And I was blown away by his work. And I was like, can you be part of my team? I only want,
Amazing.
good people on my team, and you're amazing. And so that was an easy transition. So it's slowly building.
Nice.
I think we have a lot of ways to go. As I said, think I'm at my infancy, but we're building a good team of support. That's what I need.
You got a good foundation.
I need foundation,
going on.
support. I support them. They support me.
Love. That's awesome. Do you want to do SNL?
I would love to do SNL,
Right?
but it is so hard to get in there because you can't audition. They ask you to audition.
Yes.
So I got to be somewhere where they can find me.
Yeah.
And that would be the only reason why I go back into the improv scene, but I would have to be in America for that.
Right.
I don't know how feasible that is at this time in my life.
True.
Because again, it's bringing yourself back down and doing the hustling all over again.
Yeah.
And I just don't know how I would do that at this point, but I would love SNL. That would be a dream. I also think, I don't even know how they do it. I read a lot of biographies about people on SNL, and it's tired. Same?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
shit, you're gonna have to exchange some stuff.
I love biographies. I love biographies. I was listening to Taraji P. Henson on the way down here.
I'm listening to a comedy drama.
Okay.
With Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah.
And then I just finished Green Light by Matthew McConaughey.
I did
love
that
it.
earlier this year.
I love it. I love when he goes, green light. Green light. And I'm like, green light. Did you listen to the audiobook or read it?
Oh, I had to.
And then he just says it in the McConaughey voice, and he's like, green light.
Right?
So good.
Who, the what.
He's so philosophical and so smart.
Yeah.
And so poetic.
Yes.
And I'm like, this is a great read.
I know, for regular people, I've talked to many people about it, and I feel like for non-creative, non-woo-woo people, they're like, yo, he's weird. And for everyone else, we're like, I love this.
He's just leaning into who he is.
Right?
And I love the green light. Sometimes I say that in my apartment, I clean the house, green light. I love that.
100%.
Big fan.
It was so fun.
And
I loved it so much.
Before that, I hit the Viola Davis.
Ah, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Did we do the same
We're on the same train here.
Did Viola Davis. And then I did Cicely B. Tyson, just because she does the forward, I think, Viola does the forward for hers.
Nice.
And then, Matthew McConaughey. And then I did Matthew Perry. So
that is definitely on my list.
Yeah, 100%.
I did, it started with, I read recently Gina Davis's book, and that's what got me on the loop of actors and on actors on actors.
Because I saw hers today when I was scrolling through to pick which next one.
It's
so I was
cute.
like, oh, it's like you worked with them.
Yeah,
I was like, that's gonna be so cool.
I reached out to her after, and I said, I read your book, and just so you know, it's very inspiring to hear your journey.
Yes.
And she sent me a signed copy.
Stop.
I put it up on my wall. Yeah,
so
she's so cute. She honestly is so sweet.
That's amazing.
And just darling. And also she got that integrity in her, but her persona is the way she presents herself, such a sweet woman. Highly recommend. But it's a very different vibe from Viola and
I love Viola's too.
Me too.
So
mad
good.
respect.
Oh, so many good quotes from that too. Of just
So good.
Inspirational. I
like knowing where these people come from, because it really it says a lot about how they portray characters, and because it's all about your experience and how you bring it to the role.
Yeah.
And to know this backstory and then seeing what she's done with it, I'm like, this is fucking cathartic for you.
Yes.
You go, girl.
Right?
Go, girl. Kill it.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm so into that stuff.
Right? Yeah, I love another one that I really loved was Bryan Cranston's.
Oh, I haven't read that yet. It's on the list.
And then he reads it too. I love when they read it themselves.
I love it. I love an
really
audiobook.
do. Yeah.
Then I can get exactly what they're saying, what they mean by what they're saying. I don't have to interpret it.
Exactly.
And you hear their voice and their vibe, and it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So he was another good one that I really liked.
Okay.
So
On the
add it to your list.
I'm so into true crime, insanely. And I listened to one which was really interesting called the Most Dangerous Animal of Them All, and it's about the Zodiac killer and his potential son.
No way.
And his son was adopted and was originally left on a doorstep, and he did all this research because he found out his mom, his maternal mother, all this stuff, did all this research over the course of like 15 years, and it comes back to he thinks he's the Zodiac killer's son. It is insanely good. It's insanely good.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it's a long listen or read, but he narrates it too, but it's very good.
Is that going to be a series as well at some point?
True crime. You heard it here first, baby.
Yeah, that's right. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's
I'm gonna
really
have
good.
to add that to my list.
Yeah, even if you're not a true crime fan, like the story itself.
I dabble. I just can't listen to it at night. Like I'm such a pansy. I'm like I get scared.
I get scared. You know, it's funny. I could fall asleep to a true crime documentary, but if you put on that like that TLC show with the mediums with Teresa Caputo.
Yes.
Nightmares. Nightmares. What do you mean someone's talking to you right now?
Your brother's coming through.
Your brother's coming through. What do you mean it's coming through?
Something with the lungs.
No,
something with the lungs.
That shit is that's in real time. I'm like shit.
That is something that I wouldn't do. If like for horror movies, anything like satanic or like creepy, I'm like, you pass that on to another actor. I think I'm good.
I don't know if I could. I don't know if that would be my genre. I get stumped a lot on like when I audition for like a doctor or something. Number one, I don't look like a doctor.
Who's taking me seriously?
Who's like I look like a doctor's child. You know, I should be at school, and they want me to be like, oh, this medical instrument and this medical instrument, like, and the lingo that I have to memorize.
Isn't it nuts?
It's nuts.
My sister's a nurse. I'll send it to her and be like, what am I saying?
What
here?
is this? Do a lot of Googling. I'm like, what is this? Right? What do you do with this? What? This happens to people. Like, that would be me as a doctor. What did you do? Jesus. Come look at this. Look at what happened. She wants me to fix it. No, so those are my hardest auditions because it's so far from what I'm capable of, like, to articulate confidently, especially with the turnaround time of like 12 hours or something like that. You're like,
BPA, blah, 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 and you're like 140 over. I don't care.
I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I need more time for this.
Yeah.
But
to say it with such confidence.
With such confidence and such like conviction because it's so serious.
Yes.
And you have to know what you're talking about. And I'm BP 140 over 185 sounds good. Like someone would laugh at if I said that. I'm like, you're good.
Right?
You'll survive this. I was like,
are you breathing?
You have cancer.
You have. Sorry, can I take it again?
It's terminal. Sorry. You know, like these big moments, these are big moments. They're real life moments. And I don't know if that's probably why I've never been cast as a doctor.
Not yet.
Not yet. Someone's going to see this and be like, she's great.
That's great. Exactly what we want.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Just like bites her lip.
You've broken 3 bones. It's going to hurt. It's going to be a long journey. Long journey to the recovery.
Hope you have insurance.
Costs a lot. Especially in America. Oh my God.
Right?
Can't even imagine.
Yeah, no thank you.
No, blessed. God bless Canada. Never broken anything. But I mean, if I do, I would like it to be fixed.
Oh, 100. For free?
For free.
I love it. That's hilarious.
Maybe I can take some notes if that ever happens. I'll just be like, can you repeat that again and explain everything? Can I record you for reference?
Did you say tibia?
What'd you say? I don't have one of those. I know. I auditioned for stuff like this. That was not in the script.
Imagine. I'm actually an actor, doctor, so I think you're wrong.
I think you're wrong. I think this is fake.
That'd be ridiculous.
Is this
oh
a set?
My God. I hope that's happened to somebody. I actually play a doctor, so I know exactly what's happening to me right now. I'm like, okay, it's actually a stroke though. So
you're way off there, kiddo.
Yeah.
You're way off.
Oh, that was just in my foot.
There's this pain in my foot. It's a stroke. No. Let me tell you.
Sir, you have a sliver. Can you go home?
I can't walk. I'll never walk again. That would be me if I had to go to the hospital for a sliver. Imagine.
Sliver.
I would definitely think I was dying at that point. I've never been to a hospital. Like I've never checked myself into a hospital for anything that bad that's happened. So
yeah.
I
would.
Shit, there's no wood. I was like, Britt, But like, no, I wouldn't even know. I don't know where my train of thought was going there. I had a point. If
you got checked into a hospital,
I wouldn't even know like where to start, what to do.
Hello, I need help.
I need help.
I'm
what do I
bleeding.
do? Here's my health card. Does this tell you what happened to me? Someone. But thank God I've never had to do that.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'd like to stay clear. Steer clear.
Stay clear. Safety.
I'm good. Lose time.
Yeah.
Lose time.
I want to go there. I don't want to have a lot of housewives to watch.
That's right.
I'm very addicted. I'm very committed.
I love it. That's hilarious. I have two. Oh, is there anything that you wanted to dive more into or you wanted to talk about that I didn't mention? I should do that first. My hosting due diligence.
I have nothing on the mind. I hope we covered everything that you wanted to cover.
I think so. Yeah, we talked
great.
about it all.
Everything.
I think. Yeah, we covered it all.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm happy. I'm happy if you're happy.
I'm very happy. I had a lot of fun.
Excellent.
Yeah, as I said, I don't remember what happened. So hopefully everything is kosher. Everything's good.
100%. I have two last questions for you.
All right.
And then you're free.
Love it. Bring them on.
Alrighty. So my first question is, what is some advice you would give your younger self when you're starting out in the industry?
My younger self. Advice I'd give my younger self is, I know you believe in yourself, but you have permission to do that. It's okay to have a dream and believe that you can do it despite what anybody else thinks. And I'm happy that I kind of adopted that, but it would have saved younger me so much trauma and turmoil if I just became more comfortable with myself sooner.
Preach. Yeah.
Preach.
Yeah, I think everybody can feel that one.
Yeah. Feel that hard.
Tis a journey,
Tis a journey, girlfriend.
Yeah.
Just, lock and load. You can do it.
Right?
You
I
can
love
do it.
that.
Yeah.
And my last question for you is, what would you call this chapter of your life? If you could give it a title.
Yeah, the Michelin era, because we're in the Eras tour these days.
Hey.
It's the Michelin era. Michelin is what my friends call me, because in university I used to do sketches as Ellen DeGeneres. I was Ellen DeGeneres, the sex doctor. So I would have different characters come on, and then I would go like da 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 da, like all the weird stuff, back that she did like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So that's the Michelin era. Yeah.
I love it. That's wicked. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I'm so happy you agreed.
Well, thank you for having me. I had a great time. I mean, I love chatting, and you're so fun to chat with. I think we're very similar.
Yeah.
And we need to chat more off of podcasts, because we have some book recos that we need to.
Yes, 100%. And I clearly need to dive into Desperate Housewives.
And you need to get on that shit. Vanderpump Rules. Honestly, it takes a couple seasons because they're all crap. But once you're invested, you're invested, and it will. It's just a life journey that I think like all people should take.
It's a life journey that everyone should be on.
They need to understand the Scandival, but it takes some time to get there. You can't just jump into Scandival. It's a thing. You need to understand the history. Easier way. Yeah, it's great.
I love it.
But,
fantastic. Yeah, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Truly. Thank you. I hope that you liked this interview. I hope you comment below, tell me your favorite part, and please subscribe. We love when you subscribe. And I'll see you in the next interview.